It's been a little while since we've put one of these together, and honestly, it's been a little while that I've been way too busy on TikTok. Something I've learned is that people don't necessarily like when you show them things might not be real, or what they believe them to be. But, hell, that's part of the job. Right, Dana? She agrees. Anyway, here's more TikToks. So I suggest watching her video at least once through. Okay, but I'm gonna just keep talking. She films this little well thing, this little spring, and she plays the video through. There's supposed to be something that she caught on video. I thought maybe there was a creature down there. No. What it is there's a little thing that flies by that she's about to show us. Video of our little underground spring thingy. This almost exact same thing was what people in the 90s used to call rods. But rods, instead of being a mysterious insect, just turned out to be normal insects who were flying faster or slower than shutter speeds on cameras. That's all it is. Okay. However, she pauses it gets more and it looks like a little person thing. Ready? Here it comes. Right? And let me just go eventually forward. What is that? So it looks like a person. What is that? I assure you, it's just your camera. So I watched this one. It was pretty easy to figure out what was going on right away. And in fact, when I looked in the comments, other people had made the same suggestion. It's someone off frame with a wire whirling it around. Just guessing quickly, this is a stain or a puddle or some sort of liquid or just shit on the ground, if I had to guess. So I love that one of these videos popped up in my feed just now because I actually just watched a little documentary about this video. This clip, while it looks super convincing and is interesting to say the least, is unfortunately a hoax. The original, or at least the earliest known instance of this video popping up is from a sci-fi VFX artist website, or YouTube account anyway. It's a great video though. So obviously this is an all in good fun sort of video. Like, I don't for a second obviously believe that this is real. It's creepy, and the captions are also creepy. The interesting thing to me, though, is that TikTok flagged this as being sensitive content. And I've seen it on a couple of paranormal channels lately, and there's even one paranormal channel I follow that has said that paranormal channels are now being banned from going live, which I find really odd, and if anyone has any answers to that, let me know. So this was discussed on Reddit the day after it happened. This is right near a military base, and what you're looking at are flares used for training, or I guess in battle as well. They are meant to illuminate an entire battlefield. Now, where this video and a couple others that I saw were taken, we're kind of far away, so it doesn't look nearly as bright as it is. But essentially, yeah, you're just looking at a bunch of flares in the sky that keep the ground lit up quite well, and that's why they keep changing the numbers, the quantity of them. It's eerie looking, for sure, but it's just normal military stuff. Okay, so I actually know the answer to this one also. This was posted on Reddit a while ago, and someone went to this location and recreated this. Basically, if you run up to it and like slam it down really fast, this will keep going on for a little while. That's all. It's just someone who did this. Make sure you check out this week's episode of Weird Week on our YouTube channel. We've got mermen, volcano UFOs, poltergeists, and people might not trust the government. This video is gonna get flagged. Follow the link. I absolutely fucking love these videos because it's real simple. If we Photoshop this, it will look different. You see them all the fucking time, especially with a lot of the reptilian fan base. I don't want to call them a fan base. You see this a lot with that group of people. Listen, I know Mike Pence is a piece of shit. Sure. Is he a reptile? I really don't think so. He looks a little bit like the devil in Passion of the Christ. Sure. But if we Photoshop something, it will look different. So since coming to TikTok originally, I've pretty much been covering a handful of the same people over and over and over who post paranormal videos. And I feel a little bad constantly, not picking on them, but picking their videos apart. So I was hoping you guys could send me some people to follow, some accounts to follow, some recommendations, especially if they post some real goofball videos. Picking apart ghost stuff is one thing, but yeah, let's send me some other stuff. Send me some people who have some real crazy, weird stuff. For example, the Photoshop guy that I talked about in the last video. Here's an easy one. This is just a rocket launch. I saw a bunch of these videos popping up last month, I think, when SpaceX launched a bunch of Starlink. Obviously, the Starlink satellites are like a string of little white dots. This is what a normal rocket launch just looks like. It's cool looking, sure, but I mean, it's a normal thing. It's weird that it's military that don't recognize it. So I know this is a joke video and it has nothing to do with the paranormal, but you can always just replace what side it opens on. It's pretty easy. So this one is a wild one. I have seen it discussed on many UFO boards. I've seen people speculate that it is a wing of another airplane. I've seen people say that it's potentially just a weird cloud. I've seen some people say it's a sky whale. Clearly it's not a sky whale, but I will say that pretty much every other explanation doesn't really hold up to me. The wing of a plane, maybe, but I find it hard to buy that. So I wish I knew the origin of this video. I might look it up in a little bit. I can't really do it right now. But it's interesting that it's in 2019 because that report just came out of Tic Tac drones fucking with a bunch of aircraft carriers and even cruise ships. They say they're on a ferry in the middle of the ocean. I don't know much more than that, but it is interesting. It could be planes or helicopters, but it's 2019. It could be anything. I don't know. So they're using EVPs and a spirit box to communicate with whatever, but I really wish they wouldn't do it in open air like this. It's too up for interpretation. Use the Estes method, where you have one person asking questions and another person with earmuffs and headphones on who can't hear the questions and just answers what they hear in the sound. So I see videos like this a lot, and basically so it looks like a truck comes out of nowhere, but that's not necessarily the case.
Where does the red truck...
You'll see a red SUV like parked off to the side, which she brings up.
There's literally no red truck. Red SUV.
There's the SUV.
Red truck.
Red truck's there, SUV's there.
Red truck.
What I think, a red truck was coming up the side of the Mack truck, the big truck.
Maybe not. Red truck.
It's really hard to look under it, but I think it was in line with the cab of the truck and tried to get around it or whatever.
Extra about this, but...
And that's why it looks like it came out of nowhere. Oftentimes when you see videos like this where something comes out of nowhere, it's because things just happen to be perfectly timed where the other object, the ghost object, is behind something else for the beginning part of those videos. Outside the window, behind the fish tank, there's a guy in a coat. Astral projections are not dreams, as this video seems to imply. They are literally your other self leaving your physical body. So this, whatever he's going on about, can't happen. Nope, it just looks for things that look like faces and then puts clown paint on them. And it doesn't always work. It doesn't pick up everything all at once. This is true, what he's implying here. I have nothing to say about it. It's true. Really nice to see other people fighting the good fight out here.
It's not transparent, it's a mirror.
Keep it up, folks. So these have been popping up a lot. They're kites. They're cool looking, but they're kites. So for the record, I'm not entirely convinced that this video is fake. It's eerie, and when you watch it without the narration, it does seem real. But this is how it could be faked. There could be somebody in the basement at the bottom. You'll see he opens up, you can't see. Somebody could be down there. Fishing line. I know. That one's sort of an easy one. Lights flicker. Again, second light switch, easy peasy. Drops the phone. No one's in frame. You really can't see much in this framing here. So, this guy, who's going to breathe weird and move the phone around and toss it, could be right out of frame, like right next to the phone. Again, though, I don't necessarily think this one's fake. Watching the entire video, there is a feeling to it, but it could be fake. It took me a second to see what was going on with this video. You got to pay attention up by the rails near the moon shape. Hello! Obviously, we know how this could be faked, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I follow a bunch of these time traveler TikTok videos. I really enjoy writing down prophecies for the near future and then just waiting, see what happens. Maybe something will happen, maybe something won't. So apparently this year, as you can see, California is going to have a great earthquake and then a great tsunami, and the rest of the video says it lasts a few days and 200,000 die. I'll take bets. Do you want to take bets? Make sure you check out this week's Weird Week episode over on our YouTube, featuring more military UAP leaks, Mars has a bad case of rumblegut, scientists discover a whole new force of nature, and the blood of the young keeps you alive. Follow the link. So yeah, obviously there was a lot of cartoons and comic books and shit that showed the Twin Towers getting destroyed. But think about how many shows have shown the Eiffel Tower getting destroyed, or the White House, or any huge landmark. You could use this for anything. So this thing here was, I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's actually just like a meme hoax thing. I'll show you the website. It's from an Italian marketing person. Hold on. knowyourmeme.org has it. So I wanted to know what this was because obviously it's a little interesting. He says go to his Instagram page to find the coordinates. I found him, I typed him into Google Earth, and it brought me to St. Petersburg. And then in the comments of that Instagram post, he says that he just wanted to have a little fun. So it's cool looking, I guess, for a game map. So I see nothing in this video that can't be explained by him twitching in his sleep, which who the hell doesn't? It looks like he's moving naturally. They say the ghost throws the chair. A dude runs right through the frame there. It's more likely that dude threw the chair. Guy throws a chair, stirs in his sleep, twitches a little bit, kicks his leg. Here comes his buddy. So while there's a little bit of attention on my page, I just want to say if this is your sort of thing, feel free to follow or to check out any of my other projects in this vein. I have a podcast. It's where we discuss paranormal things, try to look at it from a well-versed point of view, but also from a fairly skeptical point of view, and that's called LowStrangeness. It's everywhere. I also have a YouTube show where I discuss everything that happened in the past week. It's called Weird Week. It's over on YouTube. All the links are in the link tree. So if that's your thing, feel free to follow or check any of those things out. Thanks for swinging by. So I've actually seen this in real life. It's an optical illusion, but it looks so real. Even I, a skeptic, was very convinced. I shouldn't have to say this, but if you come into my comments spouting nationalist or racist hate trash, first, you're getting blocked and reported, and second, fuck yourself. No. He's either fucking around like he always does, or he's talking about the actual craft. So So just looking at this title here, I've covered a video similar to this in the past, which the main takeaway was if you Photoshop things, they look different. However, this one has a little bit of a bonus in that turns out clouds sometimes look like stuff. So if clouds look like stuff, and then you Photoshop them, sometimes they look like other stuff even more. Planets have an elliptical orbit. I mean, they would still create a neat pattern, but it wouldn't be this one. And he says he thinks it's something more. Okay, so both of these jars hold the same amount of water. I'm pretty sure what is happening here is one doesn't. Sorry, I'm just bored at work.
You know how in school you learn that the Earth looks like this? It doesn't. It looks like this. See those two gigantic blobs? They are sometimes called mantle blobs. They are larger than continents. And if they were on the surface of the planet, they would be so
First,
tall
I
that the
love
International
this
Space Station
video.
would have to steer around them. These
Teaching
blobs
new
might
stuff.
be old
But
tiles of the Earth's
we don't know what they
crust. It might be
are.
something
Those
like
are the great old ones,
formation.
and
We
they're
know they're there
sleeping.
because
You know
seismic
it.
waves
I know
and
it.
earthquakes
Let's just
travel
be
through
quiet,
them.
keep our
Some
voices down,
researchers
not
think
wake
blobs
them
are
up, and move the fuck
like
on.
the ones in Hawaii. Others think
Before
they
it's
may
too
have
late.
powered.
This is kind of a long video for very little payoff, and I'll play the whole video for you, but right up front, what they see is CG, and it seems incredibly obvious to me. So they're just running around, just being mid-20 dudes, having a chuckle in the woods. And they're hiding behind a tree. I thought they were lifting it up at first. But nope, they see something in the distance. What is it? A perfectly framed CG thing behind the trees. So this is actually really true. It's a little hard for people who grew up with the Mercator projection in schools because we are taught that these continents are just massive. Greenland is huge. And that's just a matter of like dividing up the map into these flat, square, 2D things. But in reality, it's not. I've read theories where it's based on racism, but honestly, it just feels to me, that's totally possible, but it feels to me like it's just a flaw in making a three-dimensional space two-dimensional. There are other map projections that are much more accurate, but for some reason most public schools want to use this weird one. So gang stalking is it's where you think you're being stalked by a lot of people, and it's a really serious thing, but not because you're being stalked by a lot of people, it's because people are generally paranoid, or they get to a level of paranoia that is so unbearable they think everybody's stalking them. This person thinks 40 SUVs on a road that is clearly at least a small highway are there to stalk him, and it's troublesome. So if you think you are, get help. I've been talking about this topic on my podcast, LowStrangeness, and my YouTube show, Weird Week, quite a lot. I'm well versed in this. So the Pentagon did confirm footage of what appears to be a pyramid-shaped UAP recently as being genuine footage. But they did not confirm that it was a genuine UAP. There is a difference there, and that's important. Also, it wasn't this footage. It's night vision footage. This is most likely, what, a hot air balloon? I have no idea what the hell this is. It's probably CG. Currently in Marfa, Texas. I took a trip out. It was a very long drive. Going to try to see the Marfa lights tonight, maybe tomorrow night, who knows? I am in the world's greatest Airbnb. Anyway, make sure you check back for more Marfa lights shit. Who knows? Maybe I'll see something great. And yeah, I'm wearing this shirt every day. This is definitely a cool video. It takes a while to get started. Basically, these dudes are driving somewhere. They're speaking Spanish, so somewhere where Spanish is spoken. They see something, they say, it was floating in the road. To me, it doesn't look like the thing is floating at all. It just looks like someone standing on the side of the road, and eventually they drive past it. and it just looks like somebody standing out in the desert somewhere. Which, to be fair, is still eerie. It's still creepy. Why the hell is somebody standing out there in the middle of the night? It's a dangerous place. But, yeah, it doesn't look like it's floating. I don't think it's La Llorona. Still eerie. Here it comes on the side. And you'll see on the side, it still just looks like somebody out there standing in the field. This is so easy, and I see it so goddamn often. It's like every other UFO report or sighting or whatever is this. So these strings of little white lights, boop, 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 boop. This is just old Elon's Starlink satellites. They're cool, they're pretty, but it's just Starlink satellites. Happens all the time. You'll get used to it. Thanks, Elon. Make sure you check out this week's episode of Weird Week over on our YouTube. This week we've got oxygen on Mars, baby dinosaurs in Florida, human-monkey hybrids, and circular sheep. Follow the link. And that's that. Some of these comment sections got real off the rails. Especially the one about the movie references predicting 9/11. That was messy. That's how it goes. Anyway, if you want to catch it live, follow our TikTok. But otherwise, thanks for hanging out. See you next time.